Welcome, Wildcats, to this instant reaction show for women's volleyball. I'm your host, Colby Peterson. We're coming to you live from the Signpost offices today, a little bit of a coordinated effort with the Signpost, the student newspaper at Weber State. With me on the show today, AC. AC, busy day for Wildcat sports.
Busy day. I talked to a couple people today who said that this very well might be the busiest day in Weber State Wildcat athletics history. You got so much going on today, but you know what? Love to be here, love to be a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, probably easily one of the busiest days on campus ever because so much going on. But we're talking volleyball today, man. So let's talk a little bit about this. We had a good series in the last couple of days against the Sacramento State Hornets. In our preseason interview with Coach Jeremiah Larson, he told us that this was a tough team that, we normally had struggled, especially against Sac State in Sacramento, but we got them here in the Swenson Gym this weekend. And overall, gritty win last night, took it to 5 sets, and the Wildcats dominating that 5th set. And then today, winning 3-1 to remain unbeaten in conference play. AC, give me your thoughts, man. Like, how did this one or this weekend, what stood out to you?
Oh, man, I'll tell you what stood out is that Sacramento State is a tough team. It's a bad matchup for Weber State. They are so gritty, and you know what? I feel like this is a natural rivalry. I don't feel like Sac State and Weber are rivals in probably any other sport, really, but in volleyball, every single time that these two teams line up, it's going to be a grinded-out type match. And the final score, it's going to show that Weber State won this one 3-1, and some people are going to see that, the first set ended 25-18. The last set wasn't terribly close either, but I'll tell you what, they were fighting for every single point, both teams. It wasn't necessarily pretty volleyball, but there was a lot of effort. It was a lot of top-end competition, Big Sky volleyball today.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things that we talked about with Coach Jeremiah Larson when we had him on the show was the fact that, we were going to ease into the season a little bit, going to work on a little bit of that, and then eventually we're going to get to play some of the top teams in the conference, kind of tuning up, getting ready for the Northern Colorados, the Sacramento States, and then next week, the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. So, AC, we're going to go our normal format here, talk about turnovers and takeaways first. And so I want to let's start with takeaways. Like we said, gritty win yesterday, 5 sets. Wildcats were able to come back after being down 2-1 to win 3-2. Incredible display by the ladies. What's the takeaway, though, from these last 2 matches in Ogden?
Takeaway from these last 2 matches, and you know what, I'll even back it up and I'll say takeaway from the last 3 matches going to the second set or the second match against Northern Colorado is that this team can win ugly. And I have a firm belief that teams that can win ugly make it far in the postseason. Come NCAA tournament time or postseason tournament time, wherever Weber State ends up, we know that they can grind out a victory. And we've seen them play beautiful volleyball as well against SUU. We saw them just completely dominate the Thunderbirds. But against Northern Colorado in the second match and then the 2 matches today, I think it's a testament to show that this team really can find different ways to beat you. Even when our star players aren't playing well, we'll find a way. Weber State has senior leadership. They've got a lot going on for them as far as experience. And my takeaway is that this team can win ugly, and they just know how to grind out a victory.
They definitely proved that, like you said, last weekend against Northern Colorado in Greeley. They've also proved it this weekend against the Sacramento State Hornets, especially in the match last night, winning 3 sets to 2. But like you said, today was a little bit rough. Normally we look to Danny Ney as sort of the leader in kills on this team, and she came away with just 11 today. Had a big impact defensively on the ball with 23 digs, but Rylan Adams leading the team today with 20 kills. AC, I want to go over there to the turnovers. This team wins gritty, but what did we learn about this team going forward in your turnover?
The turnover is that it was not pretty volleyball, right? It wasn't sexy volleyball. Yeah. It's something that Ashlyn Power can only do so much, right? She can set you. She can put the ball exactly where it needs to be, but at the end of the day, volleyball's about hitters getting kills. And the hitters struggled to get kills, right? Danny Ney, Rylan Adams, neither one of them had stats that are really going to jump off the page. Rylan had 20 kills, but it took her a lot of attempts to do so. The Sacramento State block was forcing them to go to their libero, Katie Cardono. And Katie Cardono in the last 2 matches has set career highs for digs. She was phenomenal for Sacramento State, probably the single most impressive defensive player that I've seen in the Big Sky this season on any team. Her efforts today were phenomenal, and so Weber State's hitters, I think, Danny Ney, Rylan Adams, really need to figure out a way to try to place the ball somewhere else other than go to Katie Cardono in this case against Sac State.
Yeah, definitely. She ended up leading the Hornets 35 digs today. Just a massive number.
That's her career high in digs. And you want to know when her other career high was?
Last night.
31. Yeah.
Yeah, so, besting herself today after, doing a career high 31 digs yesterday. So just great defensive effort by the Hornets, but not quite enough for the Wildcats. And they were able to overcome and win this one 3-1. So the Wildcats remain unbeaten in conference play. Good to see that. Good to see them continue to roll against really quality teams because opponents are going to continue to come, whether that's at the Wildcats, on the road, or here in the Swenson Gym where we've talked about in the past. There is an advantage. The Swenson Gym is a nice place to play when you're the Weber State Wildcats. So, AC, I want to now go to your MVP. Over the weekend, looking at the two matches together, who's your MVP for this one?
I'm going to go a little bit different this time.
Okay.
A little bit different. I'm going to give Kate Standiford some love. And I'm saying Kate Standiford because she's proven that she can be a little bit of a Swiss Army knife. She's listed as a setter. We've seen her playing in the back row as a defensive specialist. And today, she got some clutch kills off the right side, which has been an area that's been lacking. Emma Mangum has been out the last few matches, might be out for the next couple matches as well. And so that right side's been a little bit of a void for Weber State. And today, we saw them get a little heavy in the middle and on the left side, which it limits your attack. It doesn't keep the defense spread out very much. And Kate Standiford today was hitting off the right side. She can play defense, she can set, and now we're seeing her hit off the right side, and she came up big late in a couple of sets today for the Wildcats. Kate Standiford going to be my MVP.
Incredible. Like you said, normally Kate Standiford is the person who is backing up Ashlyn Power, sort of that understudy. She's ready to take over that when Ashlyn graduates at the end of the season, but doing a lot for the Wildcats. You look at the stat line and you're like, oh, it's 17 digs. I mean, that's not nothing. That's good defense, along with 8 kills herself on 9 attempts, so really high hit percentage. Just being really effective when she is in the game. And, of course, she had herself a service ace as well. So with that, AC, I wanted to give you any parting thoughts as we get ready to see the Wildcats take on the NAU Lumberjacks next week. What can we expect?
NAU is top-tier competition.
Yeah.
They're a very, very talented team. They have a lot of leadership, a lot of experience on that team, right? They were a team that we played in the Big Sky semifinals at the end of the 2019 season. And, I mean, when you look at the Big Sky prior to the season, you kind of see 3 teams, right? You see Northern Colorado, NAU, and Weber State. NAU and Weber State were both picked second in the preseason polls. NAU's got a lot of talent. And for the remainder of the schedule, next weekend's matchup is going to be the toughest, at least on paper, the toughest for the Wildcats for the remainder of the season. So if Weber State can get through that, I mean, even if they drop 2 matches, they'll drop all the way to first place in the Big Sky Conference, right? They've got a little bit of a comfortable cushion right now at the top, but you still want to see Weber State keep their foot down on the gas and make sure that they're closing matches out and get at least one victory against Northern Arizona.
Yeah, definitely, because like I said, an added wrinkle to that is the fact that that match will be on the road in Flagstaff. So always difficult, not impossible like we saw last weekend. You can go to a place like Greeley and take 2 from a very good team, and this team has a lot of grit. So we'll see what happens on the road, Flagstaff. Those games will start on Sunday and Monday, kind of a weird one. So it's going to be a little while. You're going to have a little bit of a bye week, a down week. But Sunday, March 7th, that match will be at 2 o'clock in Flagstaff, and then we'll follow that up with Monday, March 8th at 6 p.m. be the 2 matches. So with that, I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you all for taking the time to chat with us a little bit about volleyball. And like we've noted a number of times, this team is rolling, and we are excited to see them get to the Big Sky Conference tournament and just see what these ladies can do, because we've got unfinished business, especially the way it ended last year.
Best team in school history? They're playing like it right now.
They certainly are playing right there. So we'll wrap this one up and thank everybody by saying what we usually do, say Weber State, Weber State.
Great, great, great.
Go Wildcats.